reclaiming our identity on our YouTube channel. And we are coming to you live from South Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa. So hello, friends and family and viewers. If you are on our YouTube channel and you have seen some of our shorts and stories so far, but you have not liked or subscribed, please do that so that we can get feedback on our content and grow our channel and share our story to more people. Take a minute right now to actually subscribe and share it with somebody. We're going to talk to you about our reaction to the U.S. election of Donald J. Trump. Now, did we jet away as a response of that reaction? No, we had already planned to come to South Africa on on vacation. That's what I'm called. You'll hear why I'm laughing and calling it that in a little bit. But these plans were made in January?
These plans were made probably around May. No, I think it was June.
Oh, I was way off.
Yeah.
Yes, so we had already planned to come. We were going to be here. We already knew that we would be here when the election occurred. And therefore,
to be honest,
I made plans to do my early voting. I was there on day one to get my voting in so that I'd get that done because we left November 3rd.
Yeah, to be honest, when I booked the tickets, I was not even thinking about, the election during that time.
Not.
I was just thinking.
No, that's what I'm saying. These plans were already made. Had nothing to do with the outcome of the election.
Right, but we were coming because I come earlier in the year. I came actually to Johannesburg in March of this year with my mother to come check out Johannesburg, and I really enjoyed it, really liked it when I came, and so I wanted my wife to come check it out as well as a potential place for us to relocate sometime in the future. As most of y'all know, we lived in Rwanda for almost a year. And so the Lord told us to come back, so we came back. But being back in America,
moved back to the United States,
and moved back to the United States, but really haven't been content being in the United States. And so we come here to South Africa, and it's first of all, it's beautiful. It's beautiful here. You should come check it out if you can. But we're getting the reaction from the election, and found out that number 45 has now become number 47. How did it make you feel?
Nauseous. I literally wanted to vomit. And I'm not exaggerating. I had to hold it in. We were on a tour on a sightseeing bus, and just thinking about it literally physically gave me a visceral reaction. When we found out first thing in the morning, of course, because we're some hours ahead, my husband showed it to me, and I felt a pit in my stomach, and I felt really sad. Really, I could have almost cried. Like, I cannot believe, but I can believe this just happened again, with all of the negative facts in place about that person. A felon was elected to represent
a racist felon
in my country, and so many things, misogynistic.
Yeah.
To be on the world stage as the leader of one of the most powerful countries in the world,
is the most powerful
to make decisions about my life and my children's life and my well-being and my welfare, which he cares nothing about, has now been elected to the highest office in the land, despite everything we know about him. And I'm not talking about hyperbole and drama and conspiracy thing. I'm talking about things that have been factually proven and things that he has confessed to and admitted himself, that people in my country know and are well aware of, even members of his cabinet and his former administration who have come and revealed things about him who moved away from support of him, and he even moved away from the Republican Party because of their awareness and working closely with him and knowing how he operates and what his mindset is. People that I work with and walk alongside, my doctors, my, therapists, I'm sure my therapist, she would never have voted for him. But my point is, people that I matriculate through life with, some of whom claim to care about me, went to a ballot box and selected him as well as other administrators of the country and legislative influencers, because you got the Senate and the House who have taken over as well, that are now Republican, to put forth laws and policies that are anti-woman, anti-black, anti-human and civil right. And so therefore, literally, I felt a pit in my stomach, and I felt disgusted and sad and just discouraged. And then I remembered, yes, God still loves me and he cares. But I asked him, how in the world, Lord, could you let this happen? What are you doing? What are you trying to teach us? And when are you coming? So we don't have to endure this tyrant too long. So, Laura Victorious, that's our friend from Chattanooga. I can't see what it says. I have on my contact. Oh, it just says you're there. Hey, shout out to more people. Reginald Jackson, hey, Yolanda Williams. Yolanda is watching. We feeling proggy again. We feeling proggy. We're ready to jump because we got options. We don't have to stay there. We're feeling proggy.
Is that
Aaron,
what you said?
No, from a previous post and conversation we had.
Yeah, we feeling froggy.
Aaron Mays, hi.
Yes, that's the purpose of this
Diane
video.
Brown, hey. Yes, God is still in charge.
He's still in charge.
And he allowed it to happen. He is sovereign.
Yes.
I'm not taking none of that from him. He is sovereign and he is in control. And he created other countries and continents. We don't have to stay stuck.
Exactly. We don't have to stay stuck. And the thing is, I think for many of us, it doesn't dawn on us that, we have options. And the options don't have to necessarily be another state. So I don't have to go to a blue state. I don't have to go to, wherever it may be. I can just leave the country. Now, of course, everybody doesn't have that. We understand everybody doesn't have that option, because some people can't afford it. But I think in the same way that we would say, okay, next year we're going to go and we're going to visit such and such country. We make plans to do these kinds of things.
Travel for leisure.
Why not make plans to just find someplace else? Because it's obvious when you have more than over half, because Kamala did not just lose. She
was pummeled.
She was
by
pummeled.
A landslide. In the popular vote, this is individual one-on-one people who said, I choose him over you.
Which means that more than half of voters say that we would rather have him with everything that all the baggage.
Or they're saying, we don't really like him too much, but we would rather have his platform, what he stands for.
It's the same thing. We would rather have him than her.
When I say they chose him over you, I'm talking about me personally. People have I take this very personally. People who talk to me every day and claim to care about me chose him to represent our country, the felon,
knowing what he stands for against people
over me and my life and my children's life and my daughter's right to choose and my son's ability to ride his tricycle in the street in a red state safely. They've made their choice. I see you. People say a whole lot of things. My sister posted something. She said, people say a lot, so I watch what they do.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
I see you.
So I guess the thing is, what are we going to do? We just came back from dinner, and we were talking about how it's easy for many of us it's kind of like when all of the drama was happening with us getting shot in the back. So what we do is at that time there's a lot of uproar and we're loud and we're fighting and we want change, we want legislation change, all of this stuff now. But then 2 months in,
it dies
down.
The intensity
wears
off.
And so I'm
until
wondering,
it happens again.
Until it happens again, exactly. And so I'm wondering what's going to happen now, because this stuff is not going to change. It's not going to get any better. And so when he came in, 4 years ago, or better yet, 8 years ago, we didn't know what to expect. We kind of knew what to expect, but we didn't know it was going to be as bad as it was.
Diane Brown says, let her know she'll come with us next time. Okay.
Amen. We'll let you know. And so the thing is, we didn't know, but now people know going into the election what he stands for. People still voted. So it's like, are we going to allow this situation to die down again? So, okay, we're all uptight, we're all frustrated, we're all mad now that this country has voted in this individual, has chosen this individual. In 6 months, it'll all die down.
Or we're upset, but we're reconciling it. We're consoling ourselves with
Yes, he's in control. Yes, we
we're
believe that. We know that.
Two things can exist at the same time.
Exactly.
He is in control. He also empowers us with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, resources, options, and opportunity. He can still be in control of your life and what happens in the world without you having to remain. What if Frederick Douglass had said, God is in control, so we just gonna let things stay out? No, he was like abolitionist. Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's more in. I guess being here also has kind of inspired that in me. Now, let's be 100% clear, because I understand that sometimes to you all who know me on Facebook, friends of ours, and to my husband, it can seem like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth, on both sides of the coin. Am I frustrated and upset and fed up and not wanting to continue to be a part of a system that doesn't care about me and has very little chance of changing to include me and care about me?
No chance of changing.
No chance.
If it hadn't changed yet, it's not changing. But go ahead, please continue.
Do I feel that way and yet have some reservation and hesitancy about just making a big lifestyle change? Again, not lifestyle, but life change and move to another continent? Yes. Again, two things can coexist because we do have ties, right? And it's not Stockholm syndrome for me. I'm not in love with America. I don't consider myself patriotic. I'm thankful that I live in a country where I can serve God the way I believe, and that my children can get an education and I can walk down the street and so yes, I'm thankful for those things. I'm thankful that I live in a country where I have some semblance of life and some rights, and I know that has been fought and paid for by soldiers who protect us and things of that nature. However, I don't feel like I have to remain in that country. My loyalty is not to the U.S. or to comforts of life in the United States. My loyalty is to my family and my family only. And as long as my parents, I started to say them by name, but I'm not going to put them on blast on social media like that. My parents don't roll like that. As long as those two people and my siblings and my nieces and nephew live and breathe to be excited to move and separate myself that far away from them is not something that I'm wired and designed to do. I'm very much knitted and enmeshed in my my family life. So there's the thing. I'm loyal to my family, and that is where they are. I am not at all loyal to the United States. So you will hear me advocating for people who do want to move and reminding people and let them know, look, I know you may have never even thought about it, But you know, you don't have to stay if you don't want to. If you plan and you prepare and you pray, and you have to be led by God. You know, we can't dictate that either. We're not saying that everybody should leave and leave now. Um, because you do have to pray about it. It has to be even for us. We have to submit that our feelings, our emotions, our knowledge, and what all of those things to God, and we still want to move within His will. But we have seen even in Scripture time and time again when He was like, "Get up, pack your stuff, and get out." Sometimes even not even pack your stuff. It's time to go. Several scriptures.
Just kick rocks and roll out.
Yeah, like depart yourself from those people. So I just wanted to put that out there because, you know, I don't want people to be like, oh, she's so hypocritical. She doesn't really want to leave. Da, da, da. No, my heart is where my family is. But I also care about my children and their future, and I want them. Somebody send us the love. Oh, yay! Hey, Sister Sullivan, happy belated birthday. Nita is on here too. Hey, fam, we miss you too. Nita Thompson. Who else? Queen Robinson. Hi! Hi, Queen. Hello. So we're telling everybody our reaction and how we felt when we saw the results of the United States election.
Yeah, and so the whole point of the video is the fact, it's just that we have options. We have options. And so, to be honest, if we did not have you know,
we mean you too. You're included. Right, you exactly. Can consider the fact that you don't have to stay there. I mean, you may want to look at Belize, the Caribbean, whatever. Look at opportunities to
Costa Rica, just wherever. But I mean, do something. Look at something to have. Make sure you have some kind of. You should be looking at other options instead of just staying where you are.
If you feel dismayed and despair, and I mean, if you're fine and you all right,
I'm sure a whole lot of us feel dismayed. We feel we are fed up, but the problem is
a losing battle.
Right, but the problem is we get fed up and we do nothing about it. It's just, that's how it is. The Lord's will gonna be done, and we just gonna stand there and take it. But that's I don't think that that's God's will for our lives. Just to continue to be disrespected, taken for granted. If there is a way out, now of course, like my wife said, I mean, all of us, us included, we can't pack up and leave tomorrow. We don't have the resources to do that, but please believe.
It's on the radar at least.
Yeah, it should be on the radar. It should be something you have on the radar. But also, for us, we don't have the resources to pack up and leave tomorrow, but please believe it's coming. We're not saying it's coming next week, next month, next year, but to stay here, we're in South Africa, okay? But to stay in America, it's not an option. It's not an option. And for those of you who, are tired of America, like you said, you need to start looking at other options.
That's what's up.
Looking at other options.
And there are lots of people who are of Caribbean descent or who are from Canada. We're saying if you feel downtrodden, if you feel like every day you are feeling depressed or life feels heavy and dark because of the political environment, if it is impacting you negatively, at least give it some thought. Look into some other considerations, like maybe go spend some time with family in one of these other countries or islands or whatever and see what it could be like. Could you imagine a life where you actually vote in an election where there's no electoral college, but your vote actually does literally count toward the contribution of the decision that is made? What if you were in the majority as a Black person, and so your voice being heard, like we were told by an Uber driver that although in South Africa specifically, the economic power is not held by the Black people, they carry weight because they are in the majority. There are more Blacks, obviously, in South Africa and in Africa than there are whites. And there are agencies, institutions, authorities that you can make a complaint to. For example, if there is a racism on the job, someone gets promoted over you and you've been there longer, you're more skilled and experienced or whatever. You report that. They don't play about it. They investigate it, they address it, and they deal with the person. And there is accountability and action that takes place. He said, if somebody gets shot in the street, the white police officer that shoots the black guy in the back is not going to get acquitted. He will go to jail.
Mm.
You know, so what if you could live in a world where you could trust when you called 911, you weren't going to be the one to end up dead?
Have mercy.
What if you could live in a world where your daughters went to college and you knew that when she got a degree, that she'd be able to move up the ladder of success based on her skill set, her giftedness, and her intellect, even if a white person was up for the same job? What if you could live in a world where you went into the stores and you weren't getting followed because you might steal something? What if you lived in a world where you didn't hear microaggressions about you people, or, you know, y'all's side of the railroad tracks, or the white side of it? What if you lived in a world where you didn't experience those things? It might be possible. I'm willing to explore the possibility.
So let me say this, Pat, Keisha.
And then Nita said something.
So
I can't see. Your eyes is better. Your eyes are better than mine.
So let me address something. Some of us think, well, that's not my.
Drink.
You know, America's my home. America's my home. I mean, it may be our home. It may be your home now. Okay, but that is not originally your home. I mean, our ancestors were stolen from this continent and taken to America. Now I want to address something because this is something that comes up a lot. Like the racism, isn't there racism in like South Africa, right?
And everywhere, because you don't have to be black and white to experience racism. You know, Indians experience racism, Asians experience racism. Racism is when there is any group of people that feel superior or make you feel inferior or oppressed. So let's clarify. We are well aware of that. So yes, it does happen in other cultures and other places.
But the point I was going to make is that in America, racism is systemic. So it's ingrained in the system, which means it's not changing at all.
It's institutionalized.
Okay? It's institutionalized. Whereas here in South Africa, for example, you have individuals. It's not in the actual system, it's in individuals, which means that, like my wife was saying, if somebody says something, you can report it and something gets done, as opposed to in the States where, I mean, it's rampant, you know, it's in the system. And so there's no way that it's going to change. And to be honest, even before most of you all who know us, and if you view our channel, Reclaiming Our Identity on YouTube, you know that we never really considered South Africa because of the
possibility of experiencing racism.
Exactly.
There would be that. And there is, but like you said, it's not institutionalized. It's not part of banning books and banning concepts and theories of learning, not telling the whole truth in your historical classes. It's not part of banking and loan systems. It's not part of redistricting and gerrymandering. It's not part of housing discrimination. It's not part of healthcare discrimination. Why are African American women dying at an exponentially higher rate than anybody else? Because we're disposable. I'm starting to get upset. So these are examples of how racism is baked into every aspect of life. You can't get a raise. You can't get a loan. You can't get certain jobs. You don't get quality health care unless you have the right advocates. Whereas here, the educational system is black. Mm-hmm. The doctors is black. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, you have Johannesburg is a melting pot, so you're gonna have you're gonna have French doctors, Indian doctors, Arabic, everything. But they do not. You can look at the data. This isn't just me talking. I have to look at statistics, and we talk to real life people. That's the blessing of travel, because we are not limited to what the media
That's
wants to expose and what they want to filter out and filter in. We're not limited to what they want to magnify or hyper dramatize and minimize. We can come and sit down in restaurants, take Uber rides, and talk to people who live everyday, day-to-day lives, and can tell us how things are going on. And so, we heard about the largest hospital in the
No, it's the
third
third
largest hospital in the world is in Soweto.
Okay, and it is a free hospital, free. Okay,
But the first largest in the world is in Johannesburg, isn't it?
I don't remember where the first largest. I don't think it's in Johannesburg. I don't remember,
Maybe it's
but the third largest hospital in the world is in Soweto. And I can't remember who they said, but they send doctors and nurses there to learn,
from all over the world.
Right. And the healthcare there is free. If you have a job, then they expect you to give a donation.
But
come on, man.
Good quality, life-saving healthcare. Free. Why can't we figure healthcare out? Because racism is systemically and inherently built even into the healthcare system.
And plus, because we can afford it. One of the things we learned here is that most batteries running low.
Yeah. Keep going, man.
I forgot what it's saying now. Yeah. A lot of the things that we do.
Is it charging?
Yeah, it is, because the light is on right here. This is on, which means it's charging. But a lot of the things we pay for, I've realized when we came over here. Well, I realized that when we were living in Rwanda, but not so much because Rwanda doesn't have as much. But when we came here, when I came here in March, and especially now, there are so many things that are the same things that we have in America. Literally, you find it here, and it's cheaper.
The media displays South Africa as an abandoned. Oh man, it went away. I want to see that. Sorry.
Put your last comment in there again.
Or copy and paste it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's.
Of course, we can go back and see it later, but we want to read it while we're on the live so other people can hear what you had to say about how the media portrays South Africa, because I'm guessing that you are South African.
Yeah, he's the one who's been commenting on the video.
Oh, yes. Okay.
From here, from South Africa.
Okay.
But the thing is, we overpay for so much stuff. Now, how is it that we can come to Johannesburg, South Africa, and we can find American products that are cheaper in Johannesburg than they are in America? That makes absolutely no sense.
Not when you consider that they have to be imported and taxes have to be paid on imports.
Exactly. But we're paying a whole lot more. We just went to a Thai restaurant, okay? This is just an example. We just came back from a Thai restaurant. We both got...
So good.
Yeah, it was so good. We both got, what did we get?
We got curry.
Curry tofu, right? With rice.
Lots of fresh vegetables. Not like just carrots and peas. It was lots of different vegetables. Bok choy, broccoli, carrots, cucumber, potato.
Vegetables,
I'm just,
right?
I'm detailed.
Spring roll appetizer and 2 drinks, it was $22. $22. Now, in America, that one curry dish now is $22.
Yeah, one.
I mean,
for sure.
Just one.
At least 18. We'll be
generous. I mean, so it's and that's just one example. There are so many more examples.
Oh, we have been eating good, delicious vegan food, which is another thing. Specialty food like vegan food in the States is expensive. You're gonna pay a little bit more if you go to a vegan restaurant, because specialty foods are harder to get, which adds a cost. Whenever you're going into more labor to find a product or produce a product, is going to cost more, and then they pass that on to the consumer, right? So when we go to vegan restaurants, we pay a little bit more than your typical meal. Welcome, guys. Together we can make South Africa great for Black people. That's what I'm talking.
Yes.
And we listen. We used to believe that. I know I did wholeheartedly for America, but this election has shown me that greater than 50% of Americans do not agree with me, and therefore it's more than an uphill a battle we've been fighting since
1619.
since the revolution. Right, exactly. Before that I don't think will ever be won, and it makes you feel like you're just fighting the wind with all of your power, energy, and force. And once after a while, your arms just get tired.
You get tired. Yeah. So, but we're not gonna keep you guys any longer. We just wanted to say, listen, we got options. You don't have to stay there. And this is the last thing. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. All right. If you've seen our video on reclaiming our identity, our transition when we were in Rwanda, it was not easy. It was not easy. Nobody said it's going to be easy. But is it better than the option that we have right now?
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Well,
so
we'll let you go if you want to go. But if you have any questions or other comments, one of our dear beloved said,
yeah.
So desensitized by the racism. And you can get to the point where you're numb. This is just this is life.
This is part of being in America.
We'll just survive. What if you could thrive, and you didn't have to just survive? Just what if? What would the quality of life be? Oh my goodness! If you could thrive without having to process and think and analyze and parse things and try to work around and navigate through a system that was specifically designed and created
for you to fail.
Yeah, to keep you down here and not let you go up there. And then, oh my goodness, then add to it the emboldened, brazen audacity of white nationalism thinking is just, what keep listening? It's not.
No. That was somebody who is, they're living in Rwanda and they're here and they're thinking about moving.
Okay.
Yes, they were saying they're glad we're here.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought that was residential tourists.
No. But yes, so
Any other thoughts or questions?
I was saying the media reports only they only
negative
report negative stuff about South Africa. And we believed it because we didn't want South Africa was not on the radar.
Well,
okay.
So can I ask you a question? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it was on the radar, but it was like, nah, it's too much like America. And the crime, the racism, and stuff like that. But it wasn't until, honestly, the Lord told me, after we came back from Rwanda, the Lord said, I want you to check out South Africa. When I came to check out South Africa in March of this year, I was like, man, this is it. I love it. I love it. And I don't want to come back to America. Unfortunately, we got to come back. But I don't want to come back. Go ahead, what you want to say.
Okay. So, He said that the media only portrays negative things about South Africa. In our experience, the media only portrays negative things about any country on the continent of Africa, and many other countries around the world to keep them, looking bad compared to the U.S. But even international media, they only portray the negative. However, I'm wondering if you mean that in the sense that they only show the negative that actually is factually occurring and they don't show the positive things as well, or are you saying that they make life look worse than it truly is? They put things in a negative light when they're not in a negative light. So if you could clarify, are you saying, because life anywhere is the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between, right? So are you saying that they only show the negative stuff and don't show any positive things and don't do any tourism promotion and show all the good things that South Africa has to offer? Zimbabwe with delivering newborn babies, immigrants.
I think it's both.
Yeah, a lot of immigrants come to South Africa.
No, I'm not talking about the immigrants. I'm talking about, I think it's both. Meaning,
that's a good thing, though.
They only show.
There's something here because the immigrants want to be here.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about they only show the negative things. So what happens, because they don't want us to come to the continent. That's reality. So
who is that?
What the powers that be, okay, in America.
Outside of Africa?
Right, outside of Africa. America does not want us coming to the continent. They don't want us to take our resources.
They don't?
And no, they don't. Okay, now listen, because
they want us to stay so that they can keep us
yes, I mean,
mental slaves.
Listen. Why is it that every time we come to the continent, all right, and we've been many times, every time we come and you look on the State Department site about the travel advisory, and it's always, you can go, I mean, Rwanda is one of, if not one of the safest countries in the world, okay? But they all, but they tell us
Yes.
we got to be careful.
Thank you.
You know, when coming to places like Rwanda, one of the safest places in the world. But the travel advisory, all of these different things, whatever, because they want to discourage us from coming to the continent. And so what I'm saying is we get negative information on both sides. So they're told one thing about us as Black Americans, we're only knuckleheads and thugs and hustlers and things like that or whatever. And then on this side, and they think that
Or
America
lazy and drug dealers.
lazy and drug dealers. But then on this side,
folks come to Africa for vacation and they don't.
What did they say?
Did you say they come for vacation but they don't want to stay or they don't visit anyone? As that they don't get outside of the tourist areas. They may come to the resorts or whatever. They come and stay for vacation, but they don't actually intermingle with the people and get to experience real life and talk to people. Tell me if that's what you were saying. Okay, I want to see if somebody on Facebook was saying.
But yeah, just I mean, do your due diligence, pray about it, ask the Lord to reveal whether or not He would have for you to come. And the biggest thing is this: to come, you got to be able to survive. You got to be able to live. And so my suggestion would be, some of you all right now are doing things online. You're working online and you have jobs that you do online. Look for some other job that you can do online, maybe in your same company, in your same field, that is available, that you can do globally. Because you got to be able to, of course, to make money. And when it comes to living on this continent, it is, to be honest, it is a fraction of what you're paying in the States. It is a fraction. When we were in Rwanda, our total monthly bills for a family of 5, 3 children, all of them in private school, was about $1,500 a month, including rent. I said that, $1,500 a month, including rent, okay? And 3 children in private school. So, I mean, if you are a single person, you're just or a couple, I mean, you don't need a lot to survive. You can
depending
do it.
on your lifestyle.
Depending on, of course, yeah.
If you
have maintenance, then
you live that kind of life now,
then
you might get a little bit more. And I want to just say one more thing, because I can this just came to my head. Oh, so you want to go over there, but you want to use U.S. money to live on? Absolutely. Did I get reparations? Because they took me and my family and my ancestors away, built the country on their backs, and they got nothing for it. Promised 40 acres and a mule, didn't get it. When they did develop their own townships and their own businesses and everything, they bombed them, shot them down, killed them, got rid of them, prevented them from developing their own systems of sustainable income. And so they owe me. So I absolutely will work for the United States
us money to leave.
And use that money. They ought to, and use that money to live on somewhere else, because that's the least that they could do. That's not even them. I'm still working. I'd be earning it anyway.
That's right.
And whether I stay there and pour it into their economy or somewhere else's, it's money that I earn that absolutely deserve. So yeah, I will take U.S. dollars. Use the strength of the U.S. dollar, which is fading, to live off of, because nobody gave me, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents who were sharecroppers, and the great-great-great-great-great-great ones before me who were slaves, nothing for what they worked to build in their country. So yes, I'm taking what's mine and using it somewhere that appreciates it.
That's right. We're done venting, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Those of you all who are on Facebook and on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next
if you're on YouTube,
video.
like and subscribe.
Yes, like, subscribe.
And if you're on Facebook and you've never been to Reclaiming Our Identity on YouTube, our YouTube channel, go there now, subscribe, go back and watch several of the videos. We go from way back to like 2020, 2021,
when we first
documenting our thoughts about moving to Africa before we
Tanzania.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Bye. I forget what to do.